last year we were pretty good, but we felt like we could have been number one. I think we were ranked number 11. So it's just the minor details that will take us to being number one. So this year we're really on each other, and I believe that this could be the best the best Pitt's ever been. I really believe that.
What makes you think defense is going to be better this year?
I think that since Coach Bates got here, we improved every year, and we look at our weaknesses over the off season, and we see what we can do better. We see how teams attacked us. We see how teams learn from other teams throughout the season, and I think that this year we really um, focusing on like our weaknesses and what we can do better.
Phil, remind me, which linebacker spot are you slotting in at right now? I think you might have addressed it back in the spring, but I don't know if anything's changed since.
Yeah, right now I'm at money, but both outside backers in our scheme are pretty similar, and I definitely got both of them down pat.
And Chase is hanging out at Mike right now. Is that so? Okay.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Yep. And Windows with the mics also, he's doing a good job too. Yeah.
Phil, totally different kind of non-exactly football, but there's kind of an eligibility rule that was recommended by the NCAA. It looks like it'll be approved. That basically this shortened season won't count, and this time next year you'll still be whatever eligibility you are now. Since it's the players being affected, I figured I'd ask you and then later Lucas. I mean, is that something that you feel should be approved, or that you would kind of welcome that rule?
Yeah, I believe that should be just because it's not fair for a lot of players that these are circumstances that no one can control, and like even me, I want to play so bad, but if our season gets cut short, I'm gonna feel a little disappointed, so I definitely think that that's the fair way to go.
Phil, from what you're seeing, with Jalen opting out in front of you, I mean, who's kind of stepping up on the defensive line in the past few days since he's been out?
I've been noticing Devin Danielson. I think he's a strong guy. He could hold the front. He could hold the point pretty good. Um, we have D Green in there. Um, T Bent. Tyler Bentley. I'm sorry, I call them by their nicknames. But I think that they've stepped us to the plate, and all of us around us, especially the backers. We we're going full speed ahead. We're not looking back. We're not looking forward. We're just doing our job to the best of our ability. And this is the best we've ever been as backers.
Phil, you made the flip to the money side, but of course you and Cam were together over there at Star last year. Does having two guys that could both play a coverage role if need be, does that allow the defense to do some different things where maybe it doesn't really matter what side of the field you or him are lining up on for a particular play?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you said that. Me and him, there was a situation today where we just were on opposite sides that we should have been, but he stepped up and he did what my role was supposed to be, and I did what he was supposed to do, and I think just with experience, we could really just line up on either side, honestly, and play, and we have a lot of speed on the outside, and so I think that is key in coverage, and it makes the whole defense better.
Phil, what do you think Chase's best trait is as a linebacker in general, and I guess how does that translate to the mic?
Chase, I think for one, he's a great leader. I know when he's like beside me, he has great leader characteristics, and he's about 250. Probably the most athletic guy in the linebacker room at that size. He's very athletic, and I think he's a great player. I love playing next to him. I think when we're together, we communicate very well, and he leads the charge.
You mentioned Wendell too is working in there as well. What have you kind of seen, I guess, out of him during this camp?
I think Wendell definitely stepped up. He's younger, than Chase, but I think he stepped up in terms of being a leader. I know I was on him in the beginning in terms of just being vocal and communicating, and he's definitely stepped up and become that leader and communicating to the whole defense loud and clear what we're running and that's what's most important at Mike. So I think he's been really good with that.
So what are some of the things you're doing personally to keep yourself healthy during this time?
Me personally, I get in with the trainers every day. Any nicks and bruises, I tell them about it. I tell them I'm a complainer, so I'm just gonna complain about anything I got going on. But I just love being on the field. So whatever I have to do to stay on the field, I really learned this year as an older guy, just how to take care of my body and my mind off the field, and I really studied on a lot of great players, before me, and I took a lot of advice since I've gotten older on just how to keep playing at a high level every day. So that's
What I meant, what I'm sorry, I meant what to keep away from the COVID. What are you doing to keep your tests negative?
Well, with the COVID, I mean, that scares me a lot because I have really bad asthma, and my mom does it. That runs in my family, so I've been careful with it since the beginning. But I wear my mask everywhere. I make sure all my teammates got masks on. They're really great facility. I really think that this is the safest spot for us because it's really a safe haven. Like there's so many rules here, and everybody, is telling each other wear masks here. But when you go outside in the real world, it's not like that at all. So you just gotta be the leaders out, in the street and just always wear our masks and show, everybody else around us, like, how to really take care of yourself and, really just be a clean person.
So you saying you're an older guy now, is it up to you guys? Are you leading the young guys to make sure you guys do all these things so you can play? Or is everybody just on the same page that this is what you got to do if you want to play?
Yeah, well, I mean, the young guys, they definitely have like bigger pressure to do it because they're, right there on campus in the dorms, and a lot of distractions over there. So, I talk to them every day, about, what's going on in the dorms, and I have a great relationship with all the freshmen and the younger backers, especially, and I think they're doing a great job. I think they're doing a great job staying safe and wearing the mask and just being careful and sticking with each other.
Phil, you had the fifth most tackles on the team last year. What have you got? What have you been focusing on specifically to improve your game this time around? And also, what's it been like with you guys had to wait a lot longer to get to actually tackling and the physical part of football and the challenges that brings?
Yeah, well, I think money. I see a little bit more action, just like being in the box more. I really love, just being in between the tackles and reading, the linemen and reading the back. And I love money, so I think that's probably the biggest change right now to my game, just being in the boundary more. But, I'm way faster, way stronger this year. We had great strength coaches. I think everybody is. And, I've just been studying a lot more film, a lot more coverages of just trying to, be on top and anticipate what the offense is doing every play.
Phil, you mentioned those freshman linebackers earlier. I think there's 3 true freshmen. What are you seeing from those guys like DeShields, Kamara, and AJ?
Well, I just see improvement from them like every day. I mean, when we first got out there, when we first got the pads on, they were raw. They were very talented, but just raw in terms of like their fits and their speed. Um, just hustling. To every play, and now, I mean, you look at them, it's like night and day. They're really getting better. I mean, they started probably at like 40%. Right now, they're at like 80, 90%. And they're they're just doing their thing. So I'm really proud of them and happy that they're coming along so good. And honestly, I learned from them. Like I learned, things from them, just like natural things that they do. Um, I teach them everything I know too. So yeah, I appreciate having young backers that really trying to get after it every day.
We also have grad transfer Lucas Krull on the call. Do we have any final questions for Phil Campbell before we let him go?
Real quick, Phil, what kind of things does Coach Bates do to get you guys motivated? I know he's one of those guys that doesn't just sit back and coach; he actually gets involved. What kind of things has he been doing lately?
Bass, he's enthusiastic from the second you walk in the building. I mean, you could be so tired and he's just full of energy and like, Phil, how we doing today? And just I love that. I love that he brings that attitude, and it's hard to be in a bad mood around someone like that, or not be enthusiastic around him, because he's so he loves football, he loves coaching us, and I could tell, and I love playing for somebody like that. And he really coaches me a lot. I mean, just like even off the field, like yesterday he came up to me like in the afternoon and was just like, Phil, I really want you to start using your hands on blocks more, and not using your shoulders. And I really this is stuff that obviously all my coaches say, but I appreciate him coming to me later in the day and telling me this, things that he noticed. So I really like that he has a personal relationship with all of us, and he coaches all of us very well.